Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Yooka-Laylee. Yeah, that's what we're playing. Um, Due to some stupidity on my part, spent a lot of last episode trying to figure out how to get into the third world. We're now in the third world. We only have the ability to walk on the bottom of the ocean right now, so this grapple point, for lack of a better term, is not a path I can take, but we can do this and we can walk underwater now. We need to get the last few collectibles so that we can be out, I suppose, of... Alright, so these bubbles don't blow you when you're in a bubble yourself, which that doesn't make any sense. A giant bubble would get blown by an air vent as much as anything else. Is that not a switch? Or did I just activate it the first time and not realize it? So we're missing some animations here that just tell you, hey, you've done this. Certainly it was a little bit more difficult. Apparently I have now this new attack that I can do. I don't know where that came from, this purple spin when enemies are around me. This is going to be a kind of Halloween-esque area. There's something to be said, though, if I, as an adult who has played Mario 64 and many other games, has trouble finding an entire level. In fact, having had so much trouble that had I not figured out how to get to this level, I would have not been able to make it to the 4th or 5th level either. That's a problem in game testing. That's a problem in making the game acceptable for the target age, which I think you have to say that the target age, at least 60% of this game has to be targeted to young kids. And it has to be accessible to, I would say, at least 95% of young kids. So we shouldn't have difficulty spikes or just things that are hard to find. That is a little scary because this is also a collectible game, which tells me that there might be some hidden collectibles in the game that turn out to be really difficult. Without a map or a radar or something, we're already at a disadvantage that, frankly, I would have preferred we weren't at. Super Mario 64, when it was released for the 3DS, because the 3DS had dual screens, maybe it came out for the DS, added a map, which I think was very helpful. So we're asking the pumpkin now for a Pagie. Trap activated by sound of splashing, so lasered keep feet dry. Okay. So these pumpkins are acting like the other plants. I guess the theory here is that the plants in these games will always turn out to help me. So I don't know if I can do this or not. Let's see. Now it seems to me if you land, you fail. So we'll just take a shortcut here. It would want me normally to have walked over there. And yeah, there's more things. Here's one of these ghosts that you have to fight. So that's just wait till he turns yellow. Don't let him hit me and knock me off the edge. See, now I have a green spin, but the animation of the spin really only seems to happen if you're right next to something. So whatever you're attacking seems to have a weird... I don't know what else you would call it other than a swirl of energy around each of the characters. This is, I suppose, an open world area, but it's pretty narrow so far. Some of these guys are just going to look at me, so apparently that's poison water. I know that there's an invisibility ability we're gonna get. Nice, we unlocked a new tonic. Come pay me a visit. So we'll need to go get see if the new tonic is of any use. Honestly, I'm not sure I could justify getting away from having extra health, because you do seem to just take a decent amount of health. Mushrooms are not springy. I would have thought they would have been. So if I hit that, would there be a way to get up higher? I don't think so. So I'm assuming that this is just a Pagie I can't collect, but then why would you put it right in the path of where you would see the characters? See in the first move. See, if I just get that new ability to climb up on this ledge, I could activate this, then run back. So yeah, you could just activate that and then run back a little bit further. Or I can do this, and I can cheat it this way also. And you probably would have the spring up ability. There really isn't a good reason why you wouldn't have that ability. Feels like the game probably needs more health drops. Like, I just broke all those mushrooms and that didn't give me a single health drop. Let's see what we can unlock. From Trouser. Welcome friends, how lovely to see you. Alright, sausage features. The feds have caught up with you. Haven't caught up with you yet. I've been thinking about launching a Trouser patented drone delivery business. New moves delivered right to your doorstep, along with an expert instruction video by myself. What do you think? I wouldn't trust you to deliver my takeaway. Super, great to have your support. Now, why don't you have a look at what's in stock? I really hate that these guys are not voiced. So we probably... Ooh, we can buy both, good. So Leaping Lizard is to reach high points, and then Sonar Splash is a glass breaking ability. Good, so we'll just unlock both of these. And honestly, if you were just speedrunning, you would probably want to just leave now and go to the fourth area and get 2 more abilities. But I don't want to do that. I want to see what we can get before we expand this world. So hit A. Apparently I hit A too fast. This next mix comes with 3 consecutive sales of Snake of the Year awards. How does a move win a sales award unless it's rubbish and you manage to shift it? that line of dialogue alone tells me that this was probably written by someone who is more British English speaker than a writer who would write towards an American style, United States style. And I would argue, even if you're going for worldwide release, use writers and writing that is localized and targeted to the United States style of writing, because the United States style of English is more dumbed down than the British style of English, or any other country's way in which you speak, any other country's form of English. So go with the simplest language, particularly for a kids game. Some of these words are really, really big. Ridiculous, that's a big word for a kid. Physique, very possible you haven't seen that written, even as an adult. And Yoko seems to just be this nice guy, where the Yuka is clearly, or Yooka is the nice guy and Laylee is the comic sidekick who's kind of a jerk. This is really just stealing Laurel and Hardy's bit, but lots of people have done that, so I can't really complain. Grapple points by facing them and pressing B. Okay. You can launch across gaps, attach to scenery, and more. Sounds great. We'll come back if we need more. I barely was not really paying attention there. So, next move. I guess if I did run to the next section to buy moves, I wouldn't have enough Quillies to purchase the moves. So you still have to kind of play this game in a linear fashion. I feel like they probably should have just told you that. I know that's a more complicated thing to say, that you mostly should play this in order, but if you get really stuck, you can skip ahead to the next level. But that would be more accurate, I think, from what I'm experiencing as to what the case really is. You really do need to play at least to half completion in the first level before you go to the second level. You need to play the second level at least to half completion or close to it. I did not catch what the buttons were, but you know what? Instead of reading the dialogue, it's easier just to come over here and look at it. So, with B, we can grapple sticks, grapple points, which are little Aztec totem heads that we haven't even seen in the first or second level. And if we find a box with a grapple head on it, we can use B, and then the left stick, maybe you have to hold down B. And if we want to break ice or glass, it's left trigger and Y. So let's try that. It's hold down left trigger and Y. Okay. And let's see, here's a grapple point. Where? Yeah, you pretty much have to go into target mode to use it. Alright. And now we're gonna have to listen to the sound effect of Trouser's cell phone. Let's talk to the refrigerator lady. Hey kids, ready to equip a new tonic? Sure. So, we've collect quills with Yoka's lizard lash was the quest. Let's see. We probably unlocked this by killing a bunch of people. It might be a little bit more helpful. Some of these other things. Stun 30 enemies to unlock a tonic. Have I not stunned 30 enemies? That seems weird. The rest of these seem to be things that we would get done. Except for the athlete one, which we have no idea how that unlocks. But I imagine it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I was thinking maybe athlete would be just jumping like 10 times. We haven't squashed anything in a long time. I can squash all these. Is there a reason to squash all these? Nope, they just pop back eventually. So if there's some kind of code or secret there, we're gonna have to figure it out. Let's talk to this weird... I was not expecting an anthropomorphized grocery cart. You're the owner of this mushroom patch? Hi, Wally. It's not ours. We're in the Pagie business ourselves. So this guy's name is Wally, as in Walmart. We probably should have met him already, and yet we didn't. Sweet. Keep it that way. This level's my turf. I grow the tasty shrooms around here from my farmer's market stall. I love farmer's market. The high prices keep the riffraff out. Too right. Some of these jokes are very California elite jokes. So we've got to knock them all down at once, which I assume means doing this. There we go. So without that ability, you wouldn't have been able to defeat all of them at the same time. Come over for the reward. Okay. Some of these puzzles, pretty simple if you have the abilities, impossible if you don't. I really wish this was voiced though. I really don't want to read this lines of dialogue. There's something with the font too. It's kind of a Comic Sans-esque font. So apparently we just destroyed somebody else's patch. That he lied to us and said it was his. Alright, let's see how easy this is. So, okay. We've got a doorway here that doesn't seem like there's an easy way to break in here, but there clearly is a Pagie on the other side because I can hear it. This level is having some of the same problems of the other levels where it's a little complicated. You're gonna have to try and figure out where you're going. Here's somebody else. It's another shopping cart. I guess the joke here is, and I don't know if kids would even get this joke, is that it used to be a thing that people would steal shopping carts and throw them in rivers and marshes. Homeless people, possibly, stealing shopping carts. I think a lot of times shopping cart markets say their shopping carts get stolen so they can make an insurance claim and then throw them in the river themselves. And shopping carts are incredibly specialized, so incredibly expensive. So I don't know if this is the same character or if this is a different character. Sob, another. It should be in parentheses, by the way. Like, if you're gonna make a sound effect, it should be in parentheses. Another sad day in the swamp for Ollie. Discarded and unloved. Alright, Hot Wheels, got any Pagies in your pile of rubbish there? So, the only thing you'll find in my basket is the heartbreak and despair. There's swamp trash as well, I can see it. What can you tell us about the maze thing ahead? It's horrible, winding and endless, and to make things worse, the walls move to stop trespassers from grabbing the Pagie at the end. You're still interested, I suppose? Yes. Doesn't sound as bad as some of the other challenges we've done so far. We'll give it a go. Good luck. Sadly, there's no light at the end of the maze for poor Ollie. So, we've got Ollie as a different character. And the door slammed shut as soon as I walked off the platform. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Well, that's crazy. And camera's right ahead of me, right on top of me. Feel like that would have been found in game testing. If they, when you die, the camera would end up. Oh, you gotta be careful here, or you're just gonna end up dying. The green swamp. I think they probably should have gone for like a purplish color instead. The green just does not read well. Did I get all the quillies? Let's get as much health back as possible. I'm not sure that there's too much more here. Because it doesn't seem like there's too much more you can do without the invisible ability. I don't really even see any quillies to collect. And clearly I'm gonna need the electrical ability that turns me electrified. So if we go up here, it's strange. There's really got to be a whole nother section, doesn't it? It seems like there would have to be, because yeah, I'm not seeing anything. So this water section has to take me down somewhere different. Hey, there aren't enough levels in particular to. Alright, so we've got 14 seconds to try and swim our way to this. And that seems like that's not likely to happen. Is there something we can do to destroy this? No, you're gonna get popped. Like there's kind of no way through that. So you'd have to be able to just start with kind of a running dash, like, and we can't roll, so it is just going to be run, get rid of the bubble as fast as possible, swim over the middle, get back in the bubble because that's way faster. So we want to just run this much and then up and over and then bubble and then run some more, and this is gonna be close, and we got it like on the last second. And then up here, this has got to take us somewhere different. Alright, so let's check this out. So, yeah, you can get these, but you have to be relatively close. And I don't think that's anywhere as useful as having extra health would be. That's a really big block. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. So it seems to me like it's more likely what you'd want to do is have this tonic enabled after you've pretty much collected everything else. Well, I managed to wiggle my way through that. They really didn't deserve to succeed there, but I did nonetheless. If the controls were a little bit tighter, some of these shenanigans I'm doing to get some of this would not be necessary and wouldn't be easily done. So this feels like this is just another maze. And that opened a shortcut. Okay. Which that's helpful. We kind of need a lot more, like really a lot more quillies, and I'm not sure I can get all the quillies I need in this level. So we may end up having to go back to previous levels. So how close can we be? Yeah, it's not really worth it because I have so many movement abilities anyways. It's not really an improvement to have to avoid going somewhere when I can just go there. That's not a warp pipe down somewhere. I thought maybe that was a secret area. Yeah, I'm not certain how much of this breaks down. Let's see, I see something over there. Do we reach it this way? Here we go. In the first Ghost Rider, you just collect. He doesn't even fight you. Which I guess they needed that. So I'm a lizard and I am playing Frogger. In case you're unaware. That's exactly what this is. It's a game of Frogger. But way worse. Because it's way more difficult. Let's see if we can See if we can not die. Odds are low. The odds are pretty low that I'm gonna be able to get all of this without dying. And then over there is, I think, our exit. Because we want to come over here and just smash these guys. And if one of these guys gets a cheap shot on me, I'm still gonna have trouble. And my tongue is never gonna be that stretchy. So, right. Next thing is to make it all the way to where we want to make it without dying. I see another Rextro arcade area. Right, so that puts us back this way. And that's a shortcut over this way. And then immediately to my doom. And then we walk through here. And that shortcuts us over here. And so we're not traveling too far from point A to point B if you have the shortcuts enabled. But you still could very easily run into problems. I just did some special double jump move that I really didn't need to be doing. So there's a whole bunch of things over that direction. We have a switch that I assume is gonna do something. I didn't think it was gonna do that per se. This area feels like it might be a cave area. Let's see what this one has to say. Is everything in order? It's a bit whiffy around here. The name's Jolly. I'm in charge of keeping the water here clean and fresh. Oh, so if I could clean it, that'd be great. How do you still have a job? Well, nobody noticed the machinery messed up while I was holding in Capital Casino. What a weekend that was, by the way. Yeah. Get to the bit where we help you. I need to get all the switches up there pressed and to restart the water filter. My wheels ain't what they used to be. Can you help me out with the switches? You'll need to start with the one next to me here. I'll help you. And you'll give me a piece of a Pagie. Let's just skip the rest of this dialogue because I don't need to read it. So if you wanted to read all the dialogue, I would suggest buying the game yourself. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to jump myself far distances. So. This is not a switch. It looks like it needs to be activated. So I think we'll be on a timer, if I was to guess. All 4 switches in a certain amount of time. Go. 24 seconds. 14 seconds. 7 seconds. 4 seconds. So it might be better to just get rid of the guys first. Screwed that up. I think we start here. Personally. I think that makes the most sense. And then we try to swing in circles. Let's see. But I do think we need to go as quickly as possible back to the center area, because it does seem like that's the move. So no longer are we just gonna get killed. Water, it's clean again. Thanks a dozen. Fellas, as promised, here's a bit of paper from the clogged pipe. You might want to use gloves to handle it. They didn't do anything special to animate that Pagie, making him look particularly dirty. We haven't found a Pagie that's torn up into pieces in a while. Alright. So now, it seems to me what you want to do when you're doing an underwater challenge in general is to just always use the bubble and walk. Well, not in that case. There's the molecule. We haven't even found where Dr. Puz is in this area. Does seem like you can kind of find things before you find where the things need to go. Alright, now when I'm underwater, is this a place we can walk into? Yes, it is. This is a murky passage, so we'll have to remember that that's here. I'm glad that there isn't really a loading section in between going from one area to another. You can't just use your tongue to Does this go to the murky passage also? Swampy Station. So there's two areas. I suspect what we'll find out is that there might be 3 or 4 areas. Like that looks like an area, but yeah. So I'm seeing at least 2 areas that we can fast travel from this part. Then up we go. And I assume, since that took 1 oxygen bubble to get from where we were, from max health down to the top of the water, at best, worst case scenario, we're going to run into a worst case scenario, we're gonna run into a ocean that is 5 times as deep as this. That seems unlikely. I bet this is much closer to the deepest ocean that we're ever gonna deal with. And here's Dr. Puz, which is gonna transform us into something. So let's see what we get transformed into. What have you got for us this time, Doc? Oh, hello there. I wasn't expecting you. It's a shame that we have to cross paths in such a damp and smelly place. I thought you'd feel right at home amongst the reeds. That reminds me. I have a very special transformation prepared. This next form is even too powerful for that dummy Dr. Quack to comprehend. We're ready, Doc. We found your molecule already. Great. Step onto a transformation plate and press A to start the DNA ray. DNA ray. Okay. Are you ready to transform? Yes. Is it gonna be some kind of fish? Magnificent. That's my kind of transformation. To control the shoal, use left A and left trigger to swim and X to attack. Shoal? School? So, down we go. So these guys can just swim amongst the reeds, but they get blown by bubbles away. It's not like there's really even anything here. So we can go down this point or through this point. And I guess we're going through this point. But it might be a long journey. Dusty duct. Like it really might be a long journey until we get back into an area. These bubbles push us high, and it looked like there was a switch, but I don't know how we would activate a switch. These bubbles ever stop? So maybe these piranhas eat the bones. Yes, they do. And that activates the switch. Or deactivates the switch, I guess, in this case. They inverted things. And so this is a kind of simplistic challenge. At least for the first part. I guess that might have been a test just to make sure that you were transformed as the fish. Alright. So I'm getting blown in different directions, which tells me probably don't want to move forward. It's kind of hard to control your up and down movements. This is yet again another example of the game not playing as tight as Mario 64 felt like when I played Mario 64, but in all honesty, I bet the controls are pretty awful in Mario 64 if I went back and tried to play it right now. There is certainly some nostalgia factor to calculate in while doing that, while considering old games. Old games felt, in my mind, felt like they played perfectly and never had any problems, and there was never a frustration point where you couldn't beat a boss on the first try. And that's simply just a factor of I remember the good parts and forget the bad parts. This is gonna be kind of ferocious. You have to get really close to those guys. It's not really worth killing them. Looking around here, it doesn't seem like there's any reason to kill them either. Like, it seems like you're at full health always. So they're not even getting in your way. No, they did do 1 damage to me. So I guess we'll see. So I'm attacking things. Right. I think what I want to do is be as low as possible. And then my fear is that this will start blowing me. And then it will blow me into a power bar that's less easy to see. Alright. Let's just go up here. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm supposed to go. Trolley down! I need saving. Hey, you go get a Saint Bernard that can hold its breath for a long time, will you? How did this happen? A subaquatic trash collector like me knows the job that comes with some inherent danger, but falling bone piles took me even by surprise. Now I'm done for. Don't worry. We'll have you out from under those bones in a jiffy. Now, what's funny here is the skeleton girl, she's made out of bones. So one would imagine these two would collide, the piranha fish. Oh, that's better. Here's some paper rubbish I found earlier. It's slightly soiled, but one heroic trolley's trash is another adventurous treasure, so they say. Cool, that's just what we were hoping for. Alright. So, collect that Pagie. Thank you again for the Pagie. Are you coming back ashore? The bones, they crush my wheels as well as my spirit. Looks like this is where I'll see out the rest of my days, unless you two could carry me out of here. Sorry, we don't speak trolley. Let's go. Yooka, he'll figure a way out. So they're telling me to leave him. Go on without me. Yep. Feels like there's probably going to be a way to get back in this area, but I'm not sure that there's really a need for that. Unless this area becomes really drained of water. But who knows, when we expand the world, that could be the case. And so that shot us out back. So the only other place we could go would be this one. It's a little surprising you can get so far from the D and Ray. I guess we could do this. That didn't destroy it. I'm about to die. These guys suck. That didn't break the glass. So do you have to stand here and do it? So, seems like there's some other way to break glass that I don't fully understand. There you go. Let's get underwater. There you go. We'll capture this ghost rider. So, I think... Nice, you unlocked a new tonic. Come pay me a visit. Alright, good. Thought I might have to do something a little bit more challenging to catch that guy. Interesting, we walked over here and then the music changed. Just decided it wanted to change on us. So what's the deal with this? It... Seems like you can stun these guys, but that's it. You still have to hit them. There you go. Oh, that's really heavy. Alright. So we've got a new edible fruit that seems like it's not going to be used very often. Seriously. I guess you're not in a terrible position to die here, though. Like, it is just swim up and you are where you are. Meanwhile, there's not really any other collectibles, it seems. So. Alright. Let's see. Still not close enough to hit the guy. So he can bomb me, but I can't bomb it. Alright, let's get rid of this guy. There we go. That should put us in a better position. This isn't working. And I see a floating sky roof that probably isn't anything. Let's see. Move info. Left trigger Y. Apparently it only breaks ice. Apparently it doesn't break glass. Unless, and this would be weird, unless you have to eat the berry and that gives a special ability to the bat. Yeah, and I'm just clipping through the glass at that point. Like, Meanwhile, it doesn't really seem like there's anything else here. So, like, even if I was supposed to... Like, I can't aim up that high. And then the camera's gonna look down on me. Even if I was supposed to do this, and then from that point do this, and then try and swim through here, I think we would lose our ability very quickly if we haven't already lost it. So there's more collectibles there. That's not super surprising. Let's go in here and see what we can get. Murky passage. So that will get me through that area. As a one-way trip. And we're looking around just to see. There's some spikes that could pop the bubbles. So the game might decide it wants to get a little bit more challenging here. Let's see. But I'll just maneuver myself. And I was able to completely avoid all the spikes, and it doesn't seem to me like I see any quillies in that area. There definitely are some quillies this way. Nice breadcrumbing. Alright. And so the looks of this seem to be we have to swim upward and then just avoid getting electrocuted. Alright, so I have to bring back the bubble and then kind of break the bubble, and then we have to, it's going to slowly move us upward, and then we're weaving back and forth, I guess is the idea. This would be more difficult if the platforms in their entirety were electrified. Otherwise, this is kind of easy. And then we have one switch here, and then over here we have another switch. So we're probably looking for something big that we can roll around. Yeah. Like this is kind of rolled on that point. And then we have a switch here. I'm not gonna just be able to move this. I don't think you're just gonna get behind it and you can't roll and you can't do anything else. Back here. Is there anything to see? Okay. It doesn't seem like there's anything up at top here. So what does this switch do? What does this jet stream do? Okay, I think I see what we're doing here. It's blowing the switch in different directions. So what we needed to do, and I don't know how we're gonna have this happen, is be kind of all the way to the end, so it's not on either switch. Then be here, and then I'm thinking the switch actually only needs to be pressed. No, it really has to be fully activated. But then there's definitely a point where I'm going to use that jet stream to move me further. Yeah, that's on the switch. It doesn't mean anything though. Press it a little bit more. And kind of nothing happens. If I go step on the switch, something happens. But as soon as that does happen, I don't think I have enough time to make it all the way through. Or apparently I do. Okay, fine. Not sure I really solved the puzzle there. What I want to do, I can't even go into first person mode, so just want to make sure there's no quilly up in this area. Right. So we're gonna step on this and then turn this off and then swim as fast as possible while hoping to avoid getting electrocuted. This sure is something. I don't know if this is good gameplay or anything. If anything, I'd say probably not. And I just want to make sure there's no quilly sitting around. Here we go. This would be incredibly infuriating if we had to come back and do this a second time. Because that was a lot of stuff. This game does seem like it is in danger of having that problem, though, where we're just gonna have to come back and deal with things multiple times. Particularly if we don't know where something is. I could easily see myself getting desperate and saying, well, let's go through this whole section again, just in case. This might be one of those games where if you're gonna try and collect everything, you're gonna have to use a walkthrough. It kind of just depends if how many things get left uncollected. Interesting, we came out the same way we came in. We still don't have the Rex coin, or whatever it's called. Retrex? That's his name? So, I think this water is still bad. if I was to guess. Is there something up over here? I hear little jingles. Is there something there, or did we already collect the something that was there? I think I probably need 160, by the way. So if I talk to this guy, he'll just say, Yeah, so we need a play coin. Without the play coin, we can't play the next game. And if we can't play the next game, then we can't get all the Pagies. So these aren't extra mini games. Yeah, blue tessellated water is green stagnant water. Again, I think a purple or maybe bright neon. I'm not really even a fan of neon as a color. It gets overused in video games in particular, but a bright neon green would be a better way of depicting the fact that this stuff is, the swamp water is still dangerous. We have another shopping cart. Oh, this is a minecart guy. Hello there, who might you be? Howdy strangers, name's Kartos. Let me guess, the god of war? I have no idea what you're blabbering about, miss. My job is riding the rails of them gram tomes and bringing back gold. Though I've not seen much treasure in a long time. Nobody cares for us minecart fellas no more. Wonder if that's a Minecraft reference, but even in 2017, Minecraft would have been super popular. Sorry, what did you say? I wasn't paying attention. Nice to meet you, Kartos. We're searching for Pagies. It's weird, they're making a God of War reference instead of a Minecraft reference for a kid's game, where you have a character name that's a minecart. Wouldn't it be so better and so much more obvious and on the nose and kid comedy level to call this guy Steve? I'm Minecart Steve, which was the default skin for Minecraft characters, in case you don't know. So apparently I'm just gonna ride this guy and do like a Donkey Kong Country minecart scenario. Yeah, what are the controls? You'll be able A to jump, X to fire, and left stick to boost the brake. Okay, that should be easy enough to figure out. So do we have to find a bunch of these? Or do we have to get them all? Seems like we're gonna come back and collect all of these later. Crashing into those is not a good idea. Do we have to get 100, or are we trying to get them all? So the new Yooka-Laylee game, which is being described as a spin-off game, basically abandons being a Banjo-Kazooie game and turns into a straight-up Donkey Kong Country game. I don't know why if that's what they wanted to do, they didn't just start with that in the first place. So do we need 100? Or like, because there's kind of way more than 100 we can get here. And this guy doesn't fire very often, so the fire ability seems kind of useless. I'm gonna take 100 and then lose 100. I'm taking too many hits at this point, and we kind of are just in a loop. So best case scenario I'd want to do is slow this down as much as possible. And then jump through that. Did we get 100? Shucks, you didn't rustle enough gems for the Pagie. Do you want to try again? How many did I get? How many do I need to get? It would have to be 100, wouldn't it? So as you start here, do this, do that, do that, that. So the main trick is, I think you are gonna miss some things, but you can go in loops. But we have to decide whether loops are worth it or not. And not crash into so many things. $56. I don't know if I just maybe hit one too many things in that last move. That one area is the most difficult part. Just clear out some enemies as much as possible. Alright, 90. So now down to 82. If I get over 100, we want to see if maybe the count changes color. Let's see. That's another 8 missing. This is more challenging than it probably should be. Like, and I don't want to really give up because then I'd have to come back to this area and do it a second time. Try again. Basically, I think you have to memorize the route. Start at the beginning, get here, get as much of this as possible. And see, that's where things reset. And there's definitely some things that you cannot collect that are just there to tease you. And see, I don't think you can go back and do that. So, yeah, I think what you have to do is hope you just bounce and kill and break things as much as possible. Part of this might be that I'm trying to slow things down when I need to actually speed things up. But there's definitely a problem here in that it doesn't really even keep your count on top. So 83, 88, 89. Nope, that's 101, down to 93. So I probably did have 100 the first time I played. And I just lost slightly below. Like everything I just collected, that one hit takes away. $21. So I think the top rope here is part of the extra thing you have to do. So and then this might be another area you want to do extra. Okay. So there's a full path here that you want to do. What the dickens was that, fellas? We didn't even make it to the end. Shall we try again? Yeah, I've just figured this out, and apparently if you go too far, you'll fall right off the edge. Right. So we want to do that. And then grab that. Get that. Get that. And then $45. Oops, missed some, but there. $50. But if you take that jump, you die. Alright. So they're just they're kind of screwing with you. So jump for that. Jump for that. Jump high for that. seems like in these groups of 3, you're perfectly fine to do what you're doing. I missed the top section, so I'm gonna have to play a little bit more careful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that, and then what I want to do is see if I can get there. I didn't, so now it's a matter of, I think we're on the final loop. Hmm. 70, 73. $83. I think we can do this if we're just a little careful. $97, 100. $105, 109. $102. Didn't want to go back through this loop. I think if we can just get where we need to go, I might be high enough. $98. So I'm gonna go low. $110. $104. I'm missing that every time. Yeah, I just don't have this memorized well enough. Okay. Let's just see if we can get this where we want it to go. This should be it. Shucks, you didn't rustle enough gems for the Pagie. Do you want to try again? What? I had way over 100 then. No. So whatever that number is, no chance I'm not climbing into that death trap. So what does he say here? As far as how many we were supposed to get? Because clearly it wasn't 100, which seems like it should have been 100. So I may have to, because I don't like that this game is not voiced, I skipped the instructions, and because I skipped the instructions, now I have no freaking clue how much has to be done. On top of that, we have a scenario here where they didn't bother to bring in the 3D modeling for that minigame, because clearly it takes place over here, it's just missing. So now I'm probably going to have to look up a walkthrough just to figure out how many gems away I was. My next guess would be 100, 125. But also I'm not 100% sure there isn't some kind of ability that would happen. Something that would make it easier. Although it would be weird if there was some kind of tonic or ability specifically around the idea of the minecart challenge. Aye up, who's this fella interrupting me brew? Don't mind us here, we're just to pick up the Pagie and we'll be on our way shortly. Hold up, are you saying I've just missed the start of my subs because you pair are trying to lift me favorite tea cozy. No harm done. You can always get it on catch up later and have it spoiled on social media. Core, now you've done it, lad. I'm gonna have to squash you, ain't I? Alright, so do we want to fight Trev the Tentacle? I say no, we've been going long enough here. Unfortunately, the minecart minigame, which was a failure, has taken all of our time up. I want to just look at the moves list again. We will be done with this pretty quickly. We're going to have all the move lists unlocked. I wonder what would have happened had I tried to use the sonic explosion while using the minecart. Probably nothing. Let's look at the totals. Let's see, we're in the Moody Maze Marsh. We've gotten 3 of the 5 Ghost Riders. We've got the Molecule. We got 8 out of 25 Pagies. It was going to take 8 Pagies in total to unlock or expand this level. So we should have enough Pagies to go to the next level and get the next couple of abilities. In total, we are at 36 of 145 Pagies and 401 of 1010 Quillies. So maybe we only get the last bits of abilities in the next level, level 4. Maybe level 5 is just kind of the final boss area where you don't have any new abilities will unlock. That might be the case. It would be super nice if we had a health power-up. Clearly we need a bunch of them, and I have yet to find or even see where any of those would be. What else is there to really say? I could get back to the menu here. Yeah, we have 17 Pagies, so I suspected it was going to take 9 to open the next level. That should be fine. And then we play around in the next level. We should have enough to open up the 5th level. Unless the 5th level is just the final boss fight. If that's the case, then it probably will require the remaining amount. I wouldn't be super surprised if it said you needed 100 Pagies to open up the final level. Since in total there's 145. So if it takes 45 to unlock the first 4 levels and expand the first 4 levels, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes 50 to maybe unlock the 5th level and then 50 more to expand it. And I'm not really sure what getting all the Ghost Riders does, but it might be that getting all the Ghost Riders gets you the health increase. That would make some sense, since I haven't seen that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.